Ty Butler, Anthony McCarron joining us here for some Mets talk, guys. Let's start with Sean Manea. Pretty solid outing, 4 innings, gave up just 1 run. Ty, we'll start with you. Did you like what you saw from him? Is this what you expected to see from Sean Manea's first time at Citi Field?
Well, I thought he was fantastic tonight, just his second start since rejoining the team off the IL. And the Mets desperately need him to be closer to what he was last year. So can't expect too much, just 4 innings. But he kept them in the game. I thought his, the 6 strikeouts had the Reds on their heels. And if the Mets are getting anything close to that guy that we saw dominate last year, they are going to be in a special spot because this rotation desperately needs it.
Yeah, I think this was like a Manea appetizer here. I mean, not what you're hoping for, a full meal, because once he gets the workload up to where it should be for a regular starting pitcher, then the Mets will be a lot happier. It'll hopefully ease the burden on the bullpen, et cetera, et cetera. Ty, you mentioned the strikeouts. I love that he has generated a lot of strikeouts in his 2 outings so far, because that shows that his pitches are deceptive, that he's got power still, all the old Sean Manea stuff that lit up the second half last year, especially. So the Mets are getting something good back here, but it's just going to take a little time to build up the pitch count and have him go deeper in games.
Yeah, Carlos Mendoza said they kind of have to act like he just came out of spring training. Although it is July, he needs to ease his way back in, especially with his injury history. Don't want to move to things too quickly. But once Sean Manea was taken out, things kind of went downhill for the Mets. Anthony, is this kind of prove-it moment that the Mets need what they need at the deadline for a reason? Like, this just goes to show.
Yeah, Nikki, in watching this game, you can see, like, oh, yeah, Mets need bullpen. Oh, yeah, Mets could use a little dose of offense, maybe from the center field position with a trade acquisition, and maybe even based upon all the workload ripples, Nikki, throughout the rotation, through the bullpen as well, because the starters aren't delivering a whole lot of length. Yeah. The Mets could maybe use an extra starter as well here as they try to piece together things with a 5 and/or 6 starter thing going forward here. So yeah, they have a lot of. David Stearns has some work to do, I think, before the trade deadline. And this game on Friday was a perfect indication. I mean, the offense, they've got to get more. I mean, usually we complain about the bottom part of it, but this time even the Fab Four, Ty, wasn't up to much. I think they were 3 for 16, and if you throw Mark Vientos in there in the number 2 hole, they were 3 for 20.
Still had a chance to win it late. Unfortunately, Lindor, who's been in a bit of a struggle, was not able to come through. But the moment Manea's taken out of that game, I felt like, uh-oh, because now you're asking a bullpen that has the 3rd highest ERA in all of baseball to get 15 outs. And outside of Edwin Diaz, there aren't a lot of guys out there that you necessarily trust. So it's the toxic combination, as you mentioned, of you're not getting length from your starters and a bullpen that has struggled mightily. The offense hasn't seemed to come around consistently. So this was just, as you mentioned, a microcosm of what has been the Mets' last month and a half. And it outlines for David Stearns what he has to do to get this team to championship contention.
That deadline's coming up pretty quick. Got to get the phones working, got to get some numbers crunching. They need a little bit of help. Mets are still without Francisco Alvarez, one of their supposed huge power bats, but he's been down in AAA really figuring things out. Another home run on Friday, 9 home runs in 14 games in AAA. Anthony, are you convinced that when he comes up here, he could contribute to this team?
Well, I'm a big Francisco Alvarez believer, Nikki. I think you know that. And so, yes, I think he is going to deliver. Look, I think the power surge in the minors kind of indicates that he's probably the hamate bone injury that he had earlier this season is probably not bothering him as much as it may have at one point during this year. The other night, he had a 108-mile-an-hour bomb off of Andrew Painter, who's one of the Phillies' best prospects. So there's a lot to like here. Mendy said today before the game that he's improved on his defense, receiving, all that sort of stuff. Good things from Francisco Alvarez.
Once upon a time, he was supposed to be a significant part of this Mets future. I haven't given up on him just yet, but I'm not as optimistic. I got to see it to believe it. A couple years ago, he did hit 25 home runs, so maybe, just maybe, he could tap back into that, but I do have to see it to believe it, and hopefully the Mets will reap the benefits of that power surge that we've seen in AAA.